I worked for a studio a few years back where we were discussing an upcoming office party. And one of the men, my senior manager in fact, said with a smirk on his face,
"I'd better ask the boss if I can go."
referring of course to having to ask his wife if he was able to attend the party. Everyone laughed. I didn't. I found it weird, especially coming from a man who was in charge of all of us. I guess I never thought about who was in charge of him. There's this embarrassing so-called wisdom I would hear growing up from grown men about how to keep your woman happy. This piece of advice was sold to men as the answer to all of their relationship problems with women. The phrase promised us men that if one day we were lucky enough to find a woman, that this wisdom would be the ace up our sleeves that would solve all our problems. It was the cheat code that men needed to remember if they were to keep the love of a woman. Maybe you've heard this wise saying yourself, the phrase, happy wife, happy life. Just consider the phrase, happy wife, happy life, and what it implies. It doesn't just tell men to grovel to their wives to keep them smiling, but it actually threatens that if she's not smiling, then by God, you won't be smiling either. Basically, you'll suffer if she's not happy. Period. It kind of reminds me of when a child is crying, and until the parents calm the child down, no one can have any peace. What this stupid saying of happy wife, happy life teaches men is that this behavior is normal when having relationships with women. The phrase teaches men to mistrust their basic instincts and to put themselves last at all times with women in their lives. It is bad advice, especially for young men, because they look at the older guys who are married and who say this stupid stuff and use it as common sense. Look, most of us would agree that marriage is the ultimate high-stakes game in male-female relationships, right? And so if the advice from these older men in the big league of marriage life is always, keep her happy no matter what, then the younger, less experienced guys will believe it. They'll believe the lie. The phrase happy wife, happy life, or the other common one, if she's not happy, then no one's happy, implies that when the person in charge is unhappy, then everyone else will suffer too, whether people want to suffer or not. It also tells you quite clearly who's in charge. Her. And it doesn't make her happy. It just buys her time. Look, it would be fine if making women happy would fix things and make men happy afterwards too. But all the phrase does is buy a man time until he needs to calm her down again. When men submit to make unhappy women happy, no matter what, it also teaches women that they never have to be reasonable with other people. They're taught that they're always
Right and amazing and perfect.
Why? Well, because Beyoncé says so and her man confirms it by buying into this stupidity. For example, we can see how wrong it is when parents grovel to put a smile on their screaming kids' faces. And I would submit that it's no different to when we see a grown man grovel to keep his unhappy wife happy. It hasn't escaped me that there's a biological element to protecting women from unhappiness or discomfort because the species might perish if women aren't in the mood, so to speak. But must we protect women from their own emotions at the expense of the species' survival as well? You know what really bugs me the most about the phrase happy wife, happy life? It insists that she'll pull your spirit down unless you lift hers up. A male family member once told me of a bad breakup he had when he was younger. He described the final words his ex said to him as they were breaking up. She said,
"You had one job, to make me happy, and you couldn't even do that."
This gaslighting can ruin a man. Many guys never get over it, even after years of therapy. I mean, imagine a callous man saying to a woman,
"You had one job, sweetheart, to be pretty and thin, and you couldn't even do that."
I can hear some of you say, but human, happy wife, happy life, it's just a joke, man, lighten up. Well, maybe, but to me it's the same honesty I hear in stand-up comedy. Jokes are a way of revealing the truth through humour. So I do get the joke, I do, but I also see the truth behind the comedy. The sadness behind the clown's smile, so to speak. Sadly, even today, most guys will still accept the saying of happy wife, happy life, and their wives will smile in the background, smugly saying, "That's right," as a cute and funny truism. But to me, it just shows how much men love and value women above themselves, or anything for that matter. My advice to men suffering an insufferably unhappy woman? Well, 1, leave, and 2, remember that it's your relationship too. If both people only care about one person's happiness in the relationship, it's probably not a good relationship. But what do I know? I'm just telling you what I think and what I do. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments about this make women happy or you'll be sorry. Have you had experience with it? Your advice could help someone out there who's going through hell with an unhappy person themselves. Anyway, join the channel, keep in touch, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. Later. Bye.